If your life is going into cycles, repetitiveness, even physical situations around you will repeat themselves. It's so uncanny. You understand, you're not going to reach anywhere like this. It's time to change the pattern. There are 3-year cycles, there are 18-month, 16-month cycles, there are other kinds of cycles. Everything in this system is cyclical, isn't it? Astrology is trying to tell you how these cycles bind you. Spiritual process is telling you how you can get away from this cycle. It's good, at least you notice the same patterns are happening, repeating itself. Most people don't even see that. They keep repeating the same cycles in different scenery, and they think they're okay. The scenery may change. Life scenery will anyway change. The last time some rubbish happened to you, you were in school. Next time it happened to you, you were in college, so the scenery was different. Next time it happened to you, you were in a job. Next time it happened to you, you were married. But the same things are happening if you closely observe your life. If you're looking at human life as just body, yes, body is getting somewhere. We know where it's getting. To the grave. If you exist here as a physical entity, that's all that's happening. In terms of your mental status, either it can continue to grow or it can go in circles. In terms of your emotional status, it can continue to grow or it can go in cycles. Other dimensions you may not be aware yet, but even there, you can go in cycles or you can go somewhere. Now when you say, I notice that my life is going in cycles, you're essentially talking about the situations around you. More than that, you're talking about your own mental and emotional states going through the same cycles. If you are going through cycles, everything in this system is cyclical, isn't it? The earth is going in cycles, the moon is going in cycles. Everything is cyclical. If you do not stand up with a certain level of awareness and a certain level of determination and a sense of going somewhere, you will naturally become a part of the cycles. The various kinds of cycles happening. The longest cycle that's happening here is 144 years. Once in 144 years, certain things happen in the solar system, for which we have 144 years, we have a Kumbh Mela. We were fortunate that in our lifetime we witnessed that. The next cycle is 12.25 years, which all of us see. The others are much shorter. There are 3-year cycles, there are 18-month, 16-month cycles, there are other kinds of cycles. All the cycles, depending upon how unaware you are, how destabilized you are, how unfocused you are, you become available to those cycles. If you are completely scattered, you become available to the smallest cycle. If you are little focused, you become available to longer cycles. But everybody is subject to these cycles. These cycles can mean a bondage, or these cycles can also mean transcendence. That from one cycle of life to another, you transcend or you repeat the same cycle. That depends on who you are. The difference between astrology and spirituality is just this. This is an unpopular subject that I am taking on. Astrology is trying to tell you how these cycles bind you. Spiritual process is telling you how you can get away from these cycles. We are not denying the cycles. It will be stupid to deny the cycles. The cycles are definitely there. But we are looking at the possibilities as to how you can slip away from these cycles. If you live by the cycles, being conscious of the cycles, your life will have a certain equanimity, a certain level of success, certain level of well-being, certain level of prosperity. If you break the cycle, If you are constantly looking how to become free from the cycle, you are looking for your liberation. Are you looking for just well-being, or are you looking for liberation? That's the question. Accordingly, you must live. So right now, if your life is going into cycles, repetitiveness, you understand you're not going to reach anywhere like this. It's time to change the pattern. Now I want you to observe. Is it happening monthly? Is it happening once in 3 months? Is it happening once in 9 months? Is it happening once in 16 to 18 months? Is it happening once in 3 to 3.25 years? Is it happening once in 12 years? I want you to notice this. Now you don't start imagining all kinds of things, but it is happening. Do you understand? It is just happening, whether you're able to notice it or not, it's happening. It's not just happening with your mental and emotional situations. If you are conscious, even physical situations around you will repeat themselves. It's so uncanny. It's so uncanny that even physical situations happen exactly the same way. If it's manifesting every 3 months, we can push it to 9 months. If it's manifesting every 9 months, we can push it to 18 months. 18 months, we can push it to 3 years. We can push it to 12 years. Or we can push it to 144 years. Or above all, instead of trying to dodge these cycles, we can ride these cycles. I've been riding my cycles. Every time it comes, my life changes.
Sadhguru says the karmic structure in every human being is essentially cyclical. This cycle is not from lifetime to lifetime alone. If you are observant enough, you will see that events generally repeat themselves in cycles of 12.5 years. If you observe much more closely, you will see that even within a year's time, these same patterns are happening many times over. If you observe very, very closely, the same cycles are happening many times over within a day. The karmic cycle actually takes force every 40 minutes. So every 40 minutes, you have an opportunity to break it. It is very important to see this. If you see that your life is just a repetitive, foolish cycle, that you are doing the same cycle over and over again every 40 minutes, you would realize in 2 days that the way it is going is no good. It depends on how conscious you are. The more conscious you become, the more you see living in an unconscious cycle is no good. So every 40 minutes, you have an opportunity to become conscious of it and to break the cycle.